The gates blow open. Not metaphorically, literally. Black SUVs, badge-wearing silhouettes, the kind of entrance that doesn't knock. FBI agents flood a rental mansion near Northeast 83rd Street, Miami. It costs more per month than most people make in a year. Someone has been living here on someone else's money. A lot of someone else's money. $230 million gone in a single day. Inside, they find two young men who, until this morning, thought they'd gotten away with it. One goes by Versace God online. The other calls himself Anne Hathaway. They are 20 and 21 years old. This is the story of the biggest individual cryptocurrency theft in recorded history. A heist built not on code, but on a phone call. Pulled off not by a cartel, not by a nation-state, but by two kids who couldn't stop spending. Malone Lam, born in Singapore, age 20. He's not a coder, not a hacker in the traditional sense. He's a socialite with a very specific skill set. He moves fast. He spends faster. Aliases stack up like credit cards. Anne Hathaway, $, $, names chosen not for secrecy, but for theater. Jandy L. Serrano, 21, Los Angeles. Online handle, Versace God. The name tells you everything you need to know about how this ends. Neither man has a conventional job, but both have access to the kind of money that makes people stop asking questions. Nightclub tables, designer bags, Lamborghinis, watches that cost more than a college education. They document all of it, post all of it, perform all of it. They are not hiding. They are advertising. The question isn't how they spent it. The question is how they got it. Imagine you get a call from Google support. The number looks right. The voice sounds official. They tell you your account has been compromised. They're here to help. They just need to verify a few things. This is called social engineering. It's older than computers, and it still works. The victim in Washington, D.C. is a creditor of the now-collapsed Genesis exchange, sitting on a crypto fortune accumulated over years. They are not naive, they are not careless, and yet 4,100 Bitcoin transferred in a single session. At that moment, that was worth $230 million. Lam and Serrano didn't break any encryption. They didn't deploy malware. They made a phone call, and they were convincing enough. Within hours, the money begins to move. Cryptocurrency exchanges, mixing services, peel chains, a laundering technique where a massive sum is broken into hundreds of smaller transactions, each one peeling off a thin layer, moving through wallet after wallet until the origin becomes invisible. VPNs, overseas accounts, pass-through wallets. On paper, it's elegant, a digital disappearing act. The problem with disappearing acts, someone always wants to see the magician. Here is what $230 million looks like when you're 20 years old and you have no concept of consequence. Rental mansions, plural, one in Los Angeles, one in Miami, both the kind of properties that show up in music videos. Luxury cars, multiple, the kind you don't buy, you acquire. Watches, jewelry, designer bags by the armful. International flights, VIP nightclub tables in cities where no one knows your real name. They did not slow down. They sped up. Videos surface of Lam and Serrano surrounded by stacks of bags, cars lined up like props on a film set, bottle service stretching to the ceiling. They aren't being discreet. They aren't trying to be. The money feels infinite. They've convinced themselves they are untouchable. Versace God. It's right there in the name. Gods don't get arrested. Or so they thought. Blockchain is permanent. This is the detail that every crypto criminal eventually forgets, or ignores, or simply doesn't understand. Every transaction is recorded, forever, in public, on an immutable ledger that law enforcement agencies have spent years learning to read. Peel chains obscure, they do not erase. Investigators begin pulling threads. VPN providers have records. Exchanges have KYC data. Mixers have patterns. And the spending, all that very public, very documented, very Instagram-ready spending, creates a paper trail wide enough to drive an FBI truck through. Lamb and Serrano had taken every technical precaution they knew. They hadn't accounted for the oldest mistake in the book: showing off. The parties, the bags, the cars, the videos, all of it becomes evidence. Every flex is a timestamp. Every nightclub bottle is a receipt. Every photo in front of a rented Lamborghini is a confession with good lighting. By September 2024, the FBI has enough. Miami-Dade police are briefed. The operation is set. The gates are about to blow open.
Malone Lamb and Gene Deal Serrano are charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to launder money. The indictment is detailed, precise, and damning. They face decades behind bars. The $230 million, mostly gone, spent on things that depreciate: cars, watches, nights no one will remember. The victim, a creditor who survived one financial collapse only to be targeted in another, watches from a distance as the case winds through the courts. Malone Lamb, Anne Hathaway, $, the Singaporean who thought America had no memory, sits across from federal prosecutors in a room with no designer furniture and no bottle service. Versace God, the name that promised invincibility. Turns out the gods do get arrested. They just don't post about it. And somewhere in Washington, D.C., a phone sits on a desk. Quiet now. It won't ring again. For crime content like this, like, share, and subscribe. Crime Untold 24/7. Never miss a case.